Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ball Breakers. Follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. And do not forget to hit the subscribe button on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Stitcher. Also, go follow at Halo Creations _ on Instagram and visit the Etsy shop in the bio as well as our Ball Breakers bio on Instagram. Use code BallBreakers10 to receive 10% off any item in her shop for game day tees as well as our first ever Ball Breakers t-shirt. We are back in the studio. We love being in the stew. And Chris is now down 15 pounds. How you feeling, Chris?
Thanks, Rock. Yeah, I'm feeling well. We talked about goal setting. I'm halfway to my goal now, 30 pounds. So feeling good. Got a nice win this morning, Balboa's softball. Always good to get the momentum off of that. Now we're in the stew. Loving life.
That's good. You definitely look great. You said 30 pounds.
Thank
what
you.
were you originally?
What do you mean?
Weight-wise, what was your starting?
I weighed 237 pounds.
And now you're at 222?
222, yeah.
And you're trying to get to 207?
Or 200, I guess. But I think, yeah, something like that.
Dude, you were...
I don't want to, make it too big of a thing. Like, oh, my God, if I don't get to 207, I'm going to, not be happy with myself. Like, say I'm at 210, you know what I mean? So just a healthier lifestyle is the main goal. Which I have achieved so far and want to stick to.
You were heading towards the big tree. Now you're heading towards the big two. And speaking of big two, we're talking to two guys who Chris also had 2 home runs today, as well as Doc.
Yeah, I'm back in softball. The swing's there. The fielding could be a little better, but the Balboa's got a big win today. Should have been 2, but we're riding high. Nice victory. Back in the studio with my handsome friends and ready to get going.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
And then Earl with the you got the beautiful hat on, very visible from where I'm at. And honestly, I just saw an Instagram video of your PR or from your beginning to end of what's the name of that actual workout?
So the classic Olympic lift in my Instagram, that's a snatch. It's called a snatch. Yeah.
Okay. And then you started at how much weight?
Well, when I started, I couldn't even do it with even the barbell. In the first video on my Instagram, it's actually only like 100 pounds, maybe, give or take. 105, I think I said.
And now you're up to...
Now I'm sitting... I actually am making a goal by the end of summer. I'd like to be able to snatch 225 pounds. Right now, I'm around 200. I could probably do 205.
Is that the one where you, fling it over your head?
Yeah, so it starts on the ground, and one fluid motion, it ends up over your head.
It sounds... it looks like a challenging workout.
Yeah.
Is it hard? It seems like it's hard to do.
It is really tough. But if anyone listening, and you guys, if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen a video, maybe you're interested, you want to get into it, this last week was actually my first full week of Olympic weightlifting coaching. So I started coaching over at my CrossFit gym, doing like a little, just giving it a try, seeing what I can do with some of the lifters there. We do have a coach there currently. She's awesome. Her name's Jenna. She's great, but I'm over there hoping to get under their wing and see, what I can learn about coaching as well as lifting.
Would you coach me personally, just me, like a one-on-one thing, and tell me how to be skinny?
I don't have a place for us to do that exactly.
My backyard.
So.
There's plenty of room.
Yeah, but weights are expensive, though. Very expensive.
Well, just go to the gym, at your gym, take the weights, and come back here.
If anyone from there is listening, that's not going to happen. Don't worry about me. I'm just over there.
I'm a mess today.
A mess?
I have indigestion.
Indigestion? From what? What did you eat?
You sound like a 40-year-old man.
I've eaten a lot of food today. Desserts of all kinds. Cheesecakes.
Wait, Doctor... this is what I wanted to butt in, but you guys didn't introduce me yet. But Doc was talking about you guys are so proud. You hit these 2 home runs in men's softball.
Rocco introduced you?
Well, yeah, but when he was asking Doc, I didn't want to butt in.
Okay.
And Doc was like, yeah, I'm back. Like, you guys really should have never left. You guys played a men's softball league with a bunch of middle-aged men. You guys are, like, literally stallions to them. You guys should be hitting home runs every game.
See, that's what you think, Earl. But here's the thing. It's slow-pitch softball, right? And there's a big, gigantic yellow ball. And it looks like a beach ball when you're up to bat. And it's very easy to mess up your swing and pop it up. You would know if you tried it. You should come play with us. Come to practice.
No,
on
I didn't
Wednesday.
even play any baseball. I have no interest in playing softball.
Neither
You
have I.
guys played baseball.
Well, here's the thing. Shut up, then.
I've never played any form of baseball. I was so bad at t-ball. They told me to play deck hockey. My coach.
You weren't much better at that either.
No, you
Oh,
weren't.
don't even get me started, dude. I was in my prime back when I was playing for a sport that had no realistic future in the pros. But
What's the furthest you can even go
In
in
street
street
hockey?
hockey?
Feasterville.
There's
What is that?
no, there's like world tournaments.
What, on like ESPN, the Ocho?
Nah, so
Nah.
there's kids that we know that played in Gloucester Township and Belmar, the surrounding towns that go to like Team USA, and they go to Slovakia and Switzerland, and they play Team Canada and Team Czech Republic. It's pretty crazy.
Do they make anything out of it, or
I
it's just like
No,
a?
I think-
you mean
pride-
do they make money?
Yeah, or is it
I
just like
couldn't
a
tell you, to be honest.
for your country and pride?
It's probably a pride thing
Mm-hmm.
because I can't imagine there would be any money in a street hockey
Yeah.
tournament.
Do they just lose to like a bunch of Russians every year? Probably.
I'm really not sure. I think that like we had a Team USA win, didn't we, Rock? Didn't Team USA ball hockey win in the past like 10 years?
I don't remember the updates. I know a lot of people that we do know, like, were posting when they were down there, and the rink looked amazing when they were playing on it. With
Yeah,
the
and it was
stands.
all televised and all that. I
Mhm.
can't say I've ever watched a game, but
Mm-hmm. There and a lot of the makeup, I believe, is from Jersey, Massachusetts, and like a minority of
There's a lot
PA
of
and Pittsburgh.
kids.
Yeah, it's very
But
interesting. That's
that
mainly those
is-
3 states.
That's the highest you can go in that sport.
Also, in Feasterville, they actually have rankings of who the best ball players are.
Wait, what's
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 Feasterville?
It's a town in PA.
Is it just
Oh.
the mecca of
There's like
ball hockey?
There's like a court there. Yeah, there's a rink there. That was actually the last tournament I ever played. I was backing
Lost.
up, played one game. It was a 10-1 game. I had 3 shots, gave up a goal, and that was I was on the bench the rest of the series.
Mhm.
And on Feasterville, they have the rankings for the adults that are there, and like there's the number 1 player in the world. And I was talking about with the guys there, and it's like insane. I don't know if they get paid. I don't
How
know what
many
it
how
is,
many
but
people are in? It's not. Is it like arena football where there's like 3 teams, and like there's just
I don't know anything about it. I
Oh,
just
really?
know. Yeah, the only thing I know is
No.
when I was at that tournament, they said that there are rankings for the best like street or ball hockey players
That's
in the
kind of
nation.
crazy.
So, actually, that was a fun fact. Just talking about a little ball hockey and randomness there, softball. But speaking, we're actually going to switch it up a little bit right now. Chris's fat fact has been moved to the front, and it's because he has gotten so skinny, he's so fast. So we decided to fast forward the process within 10 minutes. So, Chris,
So, I do have a fat fact this week. I'm sorry for all the listeners out there that were waiting at the edge of their seat to hear mine last week, but my fat fact of the week is research into the hypoalgesic effect of swearing has shown that the use of profanity can help reduce the sensation of pain. This phenomenon is particularly strong in people who do not use such words on a regular basis.
one more time.
So basically, if
No,
you
no, one more time.
you want me to read the whole thing again?
One
yeah,
more
because I
time.
understood half of it.
Okay. Research into the hypoalgesic effect of swearing has shown that the use of profanity can help reduce the sensation of pain.
Got that.
This phenomenon is particularly strong in people who do not use such words on a regular basis.
Okay,
so-
wait. So in layman's terms,
That's what I was going to do next. Let me give you in
Okay.
layman terms. If you succumb to an injury and yell out a curse word, it can actually help alleviate the pain.
and especially if you don't commonly use curse
If
words.
you are not a person that frequently uses curse words and you stub your toe and scream bitch, it's going to help.
That's all. That has to be so mental of a thing,
It probably
like a
is.
euphoric
Well, think about
state
how
of anger.
many times you've done something that hurt and your first reaction is the curse, right? Most of the I know it is for me,
yeah.
and I don't want to speak for anyone else, but
Yeah.
I know it's a common thing.
Yeah, dude, I go right to the back of the dictionary for that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty interesting. Doc, you haven't spoken in a little bit.
I'm just like thinking,
You're
is
just
that like a
enamored.
fact? That you would consider that a fact, or is this just off
Yeah,
the
it's
study?
How was
according to the what association?
I
or
don't
who?
know. I'm just
What was the name? The hypo.
Hypoalgesic effect, which
Okay.
is just and
the study.
it's decreased sensitivity to painful stimuli is what that word means.
Mhm.
Basically your perception of pain.
So what if we're talking about like the caveman era, right? and they didn't know what a curse word was, where there was just no way to release their pain, would they just yell?
Well, there's also no way to study that. It's not
Yeah.
like there was a psychologist following cavemen around.
With a computer, with like an iPad.
Yeah. So
write notes down.
what I imagine the way that this worked is that they hooked up some sort of wires to your brain and find out when your brain is firing and whatever the case. So I don't know. It actually sounds pretty unethical, to be fair, because how can you just conduct a research experiment and physically hurt your applicants, right? It sounds hard. How could they?
Yeah.
Sounds
I
tricky.
mean,
Maybe they what's the thing when you the
They
finger?
prick their finger.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't
to
really
get,
just
like, your
inflict
blood
pain
sugar.
on your research. The people who you're
well,
analyzing.
even something like as simple as like putting a prick into your finger, there's an element of pain that comes with it. It hurts a little bit, right? But it's not an immense pain. It's like you had to go into it knowing,
Yeah,
like,
that's
hey,
what
I'm
I'm-
going to get a little bit hurt by something. And then I'm going to get hurt by it again and scream a curse word.
And then they'll see, yeah. So
and
that's
they'll
what I'm
read
saying.
your brainwaves.
I
or some
understand
shit.
how it could be conducted, how it would be conducted, but I don't think that it's ethical. There's definitely someone, and maybe they did it in some far country, that because the American Psychological Association would definitely not let that
Well,
research be conducted under their wing.
I want to know how far they went. Like,
Yeah,
because
like,
if
did
I
they shoot
if I
somebody?
prick my finger, I'm probably not cursing that much. But if I
right.
like,
But then if you did
what,
again,
like what happens if I break my leg? Like the pain's gonna.
Yeah, like what do they do to you?
Yeah,
What do
what do they do? That's
probably
why I'm
gonna
saying
throw
like
up.
this I don't know. It just
That's
that
what I'm
doesn't make
saying.
sense to me.
If you told me it happened in some like far country where they don't really care much or less about a psychological association, maybe they just hit you over the back with a sledgehammer and then they do it again and you say, "Ah, shit," and then you feel
Yeah.
better.
Does it tell you what kind of studies they like? What they did?
I mean, I can try to find that.
I want to know.
All right. Well, you guys continue to chit chat.
I want to know the extreme they
there's-
went to figure this out.
Yeah.
There's actually a disease or I don't know, maybe a mental illness where your body, the neurons that like, whatever the right word is in your brain that like is able to retain pain, or what's the right word?
I don't know, man.
There's a part of your brain that like is able to know what pain is, and if that's like blocked off, there's a part if
Well,
you
like,
have that,
you could
you
just
won't
call
feel
them
any
just
pain.
pain receptors. Your pain receptors.
Yeah, I have
don't
really
know.
bad vocab.
I've
really bad
taken
vernacular.
anatomy classes, failed 3 or 4 of them, so I'm not the guy that you want to be memorizing that sort of stuff. But there is something for it. I just am not sure what it is exactly right now.
There's a couple known cases of people who can't feel pain, like physical pain.
Oh, dude, just yesterday I was at the bar with this guy, and he was telling me he can't feel his middle finger, his index finger, or his thumb. So a lot of times he was telling me, like yesterday he spilled a drink, and he was saying he was holding this whiskey glass in his hand, and he forgot it was even in his hand. And he went to go give someone something and just took the person was wearing the whiskey now because he forgot that it was in his hand. He can't even feel. So he just was clenching it, but he couldn't feel it. He
That
just
is
swiped over and
really interesting.
put it all over someone.
Who is this?
Some guy I was at the bar with yesterday.
And what fingers did you say?
His thumb, his index finger, and his middle finger, he can't feel them.
But he can move them.
Yeah, he can move
and
them.
he knows that he's like.
Yeah, he
can-
knows that it's there because he sees it. But the second, so like if Rocco's sitting to the left of me, and Rocco says, "Earl, can you hand me that?" I just have no idea that this whiskey glass is even in my hand. I just go and
Oh my
swipe over.
God. That's a shame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy. But it's probably similar to what Rocco's saying. Like maybe it's some sort of like neuropathy. Maybe the neurons are dead. They're not firing
So-
anymore. They could take pain or whatever the case.
Listen to this. So, bad language could be good for you. A new study shows for the first time psychologists have found that swearing may serve an important function in relieving pain. The study published today by the journal Neuro Report measured how long college students could keep their hands immersed in cold water. So it's something that has, if you put your hands in freezing cold water, it hurts a little bit. And it's not, there's nothing unethical about that, right? It's not going to cause any long-term damage to
I
your
don't know.
body.
I'm not a member of the Psychological Association, but if they
Me
did
either.
it and it was, approved by the APA, then it must be ethical.
Have you guys ever touched dry ice?
No. But if you did and yelled "bitch," it would help.
Dude, it has to be.
No, there's definitely a psychological aspect to it.
It is.
And
Maybe you think it's funnier too. Like maybe people just
I
America
mean,
just thinks curse words are
it's,
funnier.
It's true. It's true. There's literally a study,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's studies.
and it
So-
sounds like it could be replicated. They wouldn't really publish it if it wasn't able to be replicated.
Like
I didn't read
I'm
the whole
just
study.
thinking, like we've played baseball, right? And you get hit by a pitch. Like I've gotten hit by my hand, and I've yelled out like an F-bomb.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't it like a thing too? Like your adrenaline's going, so you're just completely like you don't feel that pain until probably like
Yeah, but we're just
10 minutes
It's
later.
situational.
Yeah, but, like,
obviously,
very
so-
situational.
what if you stub your you're talking about something where you have adrenaline going, you're up to bat, your
Yeah,
heart's
okay.
beating. Like
Yeah,
what if you
you
just
stub
get
your
out of
toe.
stub your toe? There's
You're
no
right.
adrenaline.
I'm
in
just
that,
thinking
right?
of different situations.
Also, if you did, you said, did you yell a curse word when you got hit?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't know what it was like to feel that without doing that. So it probably helped, and you don't realize because you never were able to witness that exact same thing without yelling a curse word. So it probably helped, but you curse a lot, so it
No,
might
I
not have
don't.
helped as much. I curse a lot. I can't help it.
Mhm.
Sometimes I catch myself doing it when I don't even.
Realize
There's
it.
no reason to.
You,
It's just
you know
like-
what's funny? I was thinking about it the other day. All of us, I think, have a very good sense of where we are and who we're talking to in a very specific moment in time. Like, we have a great vernacular,
Mhm.
right? So, like, we know how to speak when we're with each other, and then, like, when we're talking to Chris's parents, we know how we're speaking and how, it's like, I think it's something a lot of people don't have, and I'm glad that all of us do, right?
Is it just versatility?
Yeah.
Social versatility.
Sometimes
Mhm.
Rocco catches himself saying dumb things in front of people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I yelled a really bad word in front of your mom in softball.
Yeah, and well, see, that's different though. Like that's like a
I was in pain. I was in emotional pain, and I grounded out to short.
Nah,
Mhm.
but I agree, Earl. I think we all that's true. Very true. What's the word? Vernacular.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But also another thing, Earl, is sometimes when I listen back to our podcasts, I listen to myself speak, and I wonder what was going through my brain to say certain things. Do you guys listen back a lot? Does that ever happen to you? When you're listening,
I do listen to the podcast again in my car.
Yeah,
like,
me
when I'm
too,
driving
and
places.
I always am. You know what I always do is I think about something that I said, and I'm like, I have this in my head now, what I should have said, and it would have sounded 100 times better.
Oh yeah.
But I that's not really that
Well, that's
crazy
just something.
of a thing.
That's just something that comes with time. I mean,
Mhm.
we're only in our 12th episode now. We're just practicing over here.
really,
we're
I
just
think
getting
we're
it down.
pros. I think this
No.
is like I'm gonna quit my job.
No, if you were if you were really a pro, you would never listen back and say, "Oh, why didn't I say this instead?" Eventually, we're gonna get there, and we're just gonna be like, "Yo, I said the perfect thing at the perfect time at the perfect tone of voice."
I just felt that way now. I was just trying to explain people who can't feel pain, and I could have explained that in like one sentence easily, and I just had a brain fart.
Have you guys ever had any instance where you can remember that your pain tolerance went up from having something happen to you? Any kind of
Oh.
injury or any kind of
Dude, just last week, I had to get a planter's wart cut out of my heel, and
probably
I
extremely
like
painful.
passed out. It was so bad.
Really?
Yeah, so what they do, so planter's wart, they say you pick it up at like a gym walking barefoot, or you can get it like virally. I don't know, whatever the case. But anyway, it's painful to have. So I went and the guy was like, "Hey, I'm just gonna cut this thing out." So what they do is they pour this like liquid nitrogen all over the area
my
of it,
God.
and it's
Mm.
freezing. So the guy's like, "It's gonna be freezing cold." And then I'm gonna prick you with a needle, and he injects you with like this numbing agent, whatever. And then he literally just takes a melon baller and just scoops it right out.
Oh my
this
God.
giant. Dude, he showed it to me. It was like the size of a penny.
That sounds
Yeah,
painful.
yeah. So he numbs you up, but then like that feeling of the extreme cold, and then the needle. Come to think about it, I should have just been like, "Ah, shit," and that would have been better.
It would have helped, a little bit alleviate.
But
that
that's one
pain.
thing where I just dealt with a lot of pain recently. And actually the recovery is a lot worse than the actual procedure. Like I still am like kind of limping around right now, struggling to walk because
Mhm.
it hurts pretty bad during the healing process.
Because it just has to like re-solidify, I
Mhm.
guess, right?
It's kind of weird how like how fast skin regenerates.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I got it cut out Monday, and then like Tuesday was pretty raw, and then Wednesday, and now it's like all the skin that wasn't there is there again. It's weird.
So would you say that helped your pain tolerance just because you had to deal with that pain
Yeah, and I have a full leg sleeve. That's
tattoo?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that really boosts up your pain tolerance, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Tats can be yeah. I have one on my arm for anybody that doesn't know me, and it was that that wasn't the worst pain in the world though. Was it worse on your leg?
Dude, right on my shin bone, where they're shading in on the shin, was some of the worst pain. And then when he got to my inner thigh, I took a smoke break like every 10 minutes.
Really?
I was like, dude, I got to get up for a second. Like, this is so bad.
Inner thigh. That does sound painful. What about you, Rock, Doc? Anything you can think of?
Probably just burning my fingers on the Subway toaster.
What do you mean the Subway toaster? Like the train?
That could be like. Do you have
What
like
is it?
a Subway brand toaster in your kitchen?
Did you
No,
work at
no,
Subway?
I used to work at the Subway.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Now I get it.
Yeah.
And you burnt your fingers on there.
Well, so here's what
Dude,
I didn't. That's not originally what happened. So the way I originally burnt my fingers was I didn't know how food business worked at the time. It was my first food business job ever, and the meatball subs at Subway. It was in like the hot container of water that stays boiling, and then there's another container in it, so that way that container stays hot while the water's boiling. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense.
I didn't know that at the time, so when like I go to pick this thing up, like it's just like steaming hot, and I didn't understand it at the time, so I burnt my fingers. And next thing you know, every time that I went to go put bread in the toaster, it was just hot enough to keep my fingers like dry for like a year and a half. And I just had very dry, burnt, chapped fingers for like a year and a half. Actually, to the point where in my forensics class, my fingerprint didn't even show up. I had to use someone else's.
Damn, you should have committed a crime that week.
Oh my god.
Mhm.
They would have never caught you.
Your fingerprint didn't show up?
Yeah, if you like took like if you like had like a little black ink of circle and you like erase like 3 white lines, that's just what showed up. There's just 3 little white line scars of where the indents of my fingers were. Then there's just a smear.
Well, so then after you kept burning it, did it become easier to touch it at that point?
I got calluses, and then after that I kind of just like
Was it painful? Was it like a painful experience? Whatever you had to touch that was hot?
Yeah, actually one day, our friend Ray, he's on our softball team, when we were in class one day, he was like, dude, because he knew about the problem with my fingers. He's like, dude, they're like orange. And I'm like, no, I ate Cheetos last night. He's like, did you shower? I said, yeah, I just think the oil from the Cheetos are just soaked into my fingers. That's how dry they were, that they just absorbed that. It's a really weird story. But that's, after that, like, after so much finger
Dude,
pain.
you need to wash your hands.
Well, no, they're good now.
That was like 9 years ago at this point.
Yeah, and then after that,
You
I've
should
just
probably
been
still wash them.
But I mean, after that, I was like, all right, cool, that's pain. It's moving on.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a very interesting piece of story there. Doc, are you going to say something this episode?
I've been pondering a lot of it.
I know that, listen, last week I told you guys I wanted to turn this TV off. Doc just can't stop watching the TV.
I've been pondering about the tolerance to pain. And there's not like I said, it's probably getting hit with baseballs.
Mm-hmm.
Like for those who don't know, I coach, and when I'm at practice, I've gotten hit a few times already, and it just like kind of like it, you know what I mean? It's like it hurts for that split second, and then I'm used to
like,
that.
So the first time that you got hit, you're like, ow, this hurt really bad, and then as it went on, you're like, it's just a baseball hitting me at this point, right?
Yeah,
So yeah,
pretty
just
much.
build your tolerance up.
Mm-hmm.
It does affect me, but I'll speak more of this episode, Earl.
That
Thanks, Doc.
that was probably a better answer. I've taken like 80, 90 mile per hour slap shots in my bare thigh, and so they talked about my fingers.
And your inner arm, right?
Yeah,
Your
I had
bicep.
welts all over the place.
I used to
I
aim
can't
for your arms.
imagine. I can't imagine getting hit with
What?
something like that,
It happened all the time.
A hockey ball.
or even a baseball. I didn't play either of those. Sports.
Baseball's worse. Oh my god.
Yeah. Baseball would definitely be worse.
I got hit with a hockey ball when I played deck hockey, and it didn't hurt me because I guess I was used to it.
You're
Yeah.
not a hockey ball. Like it's hollow on the
It was
inside.
stung. Like it was a different kind of.
Yeah,
Well, was it cold outside? Do you remember? When it's
No.
cold
Nah, it was
outside,
it was hot. Oh,
when
yeah.
it's cold outside with the hockey ball, it hardens because of the cold air.
Yeah, like a football. Like
Yes.
yeah.
That thing, getting hit with that, was a terrible pain.
Mhm.
I'll never forget that. That was bad.
It just wobbles. What's the right word?
For what?
Like the sting. I can't think of the word.
All right. While we're talking about pain, me and a couple of my other buddies, we were talking about this, and we were asking each other, would you rather get hit by a pitch from Aroldis Chapman, the closer for the Yankees? He pitches like 103 miles an hour. Would you rather take a hit?
Where though?
I don't know. Let's say
Like your ribs
No, let's
or
say you're
like-
up to bat, and you just
It could be anything. Doc.
I don't know. Let's say he
It
hits
could be
you in
your
the shoulder.
lower thigh. It could be your shoulder.
Or
Can it be head down?
Not
Yeah,
your
yeah,
head.
let's
We're
say-
not
yeah,
going to
not
say
your
your
head.
head.
We'll go
Because
head
that's
down.
dangerous.
would
We
you
don't wanna
rather
promote-
do that? Take a hit from Ray Lewis, one of the hardest hitting linebackers in history of football, or would you rather take a body shot from Mike Tyson?
Chapman.
Ray Lewis.
I want to hear.
wait.
I want to hear your guys' reasoning. There,
All right,
don't just
well,
tell me the answer. Let's hear
First
why.
of all, nobody say from Tyson. So you're talking just a straight right hook from Mike Tyson?
I mean, you and Mike,
I might die
you
if
and
that
Mike-
happened.
You and Mike Tyson get in the ring,
Absolutely not.
and he's going to give you a body shot. I mean, you're not just going
body
to.
shot?
You're not just going to stand there and
It's
like.
going to break
let
7
him-
of my ribs.
You would.
Sorry, I didn't
So-
mean to cut
so-
you off, but
Doc,
I got excited.
tell us why Chapman.
Well, it's kind of like I said. I'm not used to getting hit by a 100-mile-per-hour fastball, but I've been hit by a 91-mile-per-hour fastball and it hurt. But you kind of get it. Well, that's what I'm saying. It depends where, because
Dude,
Chapman can, if he hits me in the ribs, he can easily break my ribs.
Or hits you.
Yeah.
What if he hits you in the shoulder? He'll probably separate you. He'll shatter your
Nah.
shoulder.
Nah,
Probably, Doc.
103 miles an hour.
I don't want to get hit by Ray Lewis. Absolutely not.
I'll
Running
eat the
full
shit out
speed,
of it.
like he's running full speed at me.
It's probably like
Well, let's say
you're the running back.
Yeah, okay, so I'll give more of a scenario. You get the handoff. Ray Lewis is coming for you. You got a hole in the middle. He's on the other side of the hole.
Nah, I'm not going feet. No, he's
No, because
it's Ray Lewis coming full speed with pads on. He's gonna literally murder me.
You get the
He
wind
would-
knocked out of you. So what?
No.
you would
no,
rather
you
break
could like
a rib?
break your neck or no.
you would go right to the hospital.
No, I
ha-
wouldn't.
I have
Yes,
a
you
feeling.
You would.
I have a feeling I would rather take the pitch.
Yeah, I would.
I'd
too.
rather take because Ray Lewis hits me and he's on the other side of a hole, and there's only one way for me to get through there, and that's if I go to Ray Lewis.
You got to challenge him.
He's gonna I might explode out on the field.
Mhm.
Like I'm just gonna
No, you're gonna go right to the hospital.
I'm gonna be soup.
So is Rocco. He thinks he could take a hit from Ray Lewis.
And Mike
Yeah,
Tyson
you're-
hits you with the body shot. You have internal bleeding for who knows how long.
Right.
If
so
he
that's-
hits me in the face, I'm in a coma.
What if the challenge was just one body shot and he just couldn't like contain it? And he just gave
Wait,
me an
so
uppercut?
why do you think Ray Lewis, Rock?
I
No,
dude?
he
I,
doesn't actually think.
no, I do actually think Ray Lewis.
Okay.
I just wouldn't want to face a 105-mile-per-hour fastball when I could face a 30-mile-per-hour tank.
So basically, you think because probably you can brace yourself for it.
Yes.
You can try to counteract the hit,
Mm-hmm.
but you also have to think about how much bigger and stronger he is than you, and you putting your entire force into it.
So if he's
Would do
going
nothing.
if he's going 30 miles an hour and you're going 30 miles an hour, you guys meet at a force of 60 miles an hour.
You're
in a
gonna die.
collision.
Almost.
I don't move 30 miles an hour. That's
Neither
part
does he. I mean, let's be realistic.
Yeah, but
here.
I'm just saying,
No.
like you're running through a hole. He's
pretty
on
quick.
the other side. Let's just say we're moving full speed, all of us. He's
Might be
gonna
the fastest person ever.
he's gonna make your innards come out of you.
all I know
no,
is
he
that
wouldn't. What is
any-
this? Not another team movie?
Rocco,
no,
if
Rocco,
you were
I think someone like you, if you were to go against Ray Lewis, he would take your entire torso off.
they would have to have a stretcher ready with the ambulance.
I'm there. The wind's knocked out of me. I'll eat it.
Yeah. And 7 ribs are broken.
And if you get hit by a fastball, you're probably going to be down for 2 minutes and get up.
It's gonna hurt.
105?
Whoa,
No,
who said
listen.
105? First of all, Chapman
he's-
is not throwing 105 anymore.
He did in 2K11.
Yeah, 10
He
years
probably
ago.
still throws 100.
There's
now.
100, yes.
Yeah.
he throws
easily.
100 and over. Yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes
100,
over. it.
103.
So
I'm telling you, you want to get hit by the baseball.
thing I kind of agree with Doc. I've played baseball my whole life until I was graduated high school, but I've gotten hit by plenty of baseballs. Some obviously faster than others, and it's not the worst pain in the world. It stings and it hurts. You know, it leaves a mark for a couple days, but that's if you get hit in like a meaty part of your body, right? Like
I'm just
thigh.
thinking about like the anticipation of just
25.
knowing Ray Lewis is there.
Yeah, so that's another thing. So
Like,
if you're getting hit by a baseball from Chapman, you're not. It's going to be like this. Like it's just literally a split second, and you're just.
How
That's
about
all
this?
it is.
How about this? What if the proposal was this, right? You get to go in and at bat against him, where he'll throw a couple strikes, but he's also gonna hit you, but you don't know when. But you also have an opportunity to get a hit. What about that?
No, that's
How
a
about that?
completely no.
That's a completely different. The
Well,
No,
hit
it
part
is. I'm
doesn't
just
make
saying. I'm
sense.
just putting a spin
then
on
we'll
that
have
if
to
you chose
put
that.
more spins. Like, what if I
Yeah.
say, like, okay,
No,
there's a-
none of the other stuff.
Oh,
I'm
no.
talking
No,
just
we're
the
talking.
Chapman.
You step in the batter's box. You know he's going to hit you. You don't have. You're not going to have any time to react. You're going to pitch, boom, you're hit, and you just fall to the ground. And you just
But
kind
he-
of suck it up.
It's even worse.
He also
though,
might just throw
No,
two
it's
strikes
not.
down the middle
You-
first.
No,
that
and
are
you have an-
103
But
miles.
you have an opportunity to swing, and those
Yeah, but
pitches
that's
you don't
not
get
the
hit.
question that are all asked.
I know. I was just
No,
putting a
but
spin
Chris
on it.
is
God
just
forbid.
putting. I'm saying if that's me and I see the first pitch is going to be a strike, I'm just going to bunt and get on base or something so I can get out of there. Hopefully,
You
I'll
might
just.
not even be able to get the bunt around quick
Hopefully,
enough.
I'll just pop out somehow. I'll just put the bunt
Mhm.
way high and someone will catch it, and I'll just get to sit down after.
That's my biggest fear ever is like trying to lay down a bunt and my fingers like in between the ball and the
Oh.
bat.
Well, you got to know how to bunt.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
not a
my
baseball
God.
player, Doc.
You know what that just reminded me of? There was a game that happened when we were playing, and it was a very, very intense game. Me and Doc were still on JV. I think it was our freshman year. And we went over to watch the varsity game after our game was finished. And it was like
Sounds sad.
it was like the bottom of the ninth or whatever it was at the I think seventh. And one of our pitchers went up to the bat, like you said, and was going to bunt. And he squared up to bunt, and he took the ball directly in his throat. Like, you know how when you're batting, your side is facing the pitcher?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this kid bunted and turned his full body facing the pitcher, and he went to bunt and got hit directly in the throat and like still held his bat out like this. And it was like a tragic scene. The kid got hit like right in your Adam's apple.
Was
and
he
was
fine?
Like, he was all right. But at the time, you know,
Yeah.
he went down, he's flailing his arms, and I was like, somebody get this kid a stretcher.
That's what I don't
Yeah, he
I don't
didn't know
mess
how to
with
bunt.
bunting. I don't.
That's not how you bunt.
Yeah,
He didn't know how to bunt. That's what.
No, you
No, he
never
didn't-
square to the pitcher like that. when you
not
bunt.
fully like that. You got to like keep yourself sheltered,
Yeah.
you know, a
Oh,
little
really?
be
bit.
able to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I'm
I
telling you
imagine-
like this.
I imagine he was
Facing
facing
him.
him like the catcher.
I'm
Like
Earl
the
was
catcher,
pitcher,
literally.
Earl's the pitcher, and I'm the catcher. Like,
And he
I'm
just had his
facing
bat
him.
out straight
Mm-hmm.
and came obviously nowhere near hitting the ball because it hit him in the throat. He didn't even move his arms. It was messed up, but he was all right.
Jeez.
Thankfully, he was all right. But
Mhm.
yeah, like you said, that's a scary thing right there, especially if a guy's throwing hard.
I just and dude, not only if you are adding the two pitches that Chapman's going to throw and you're just showing me when I'm going to get hit by with that mental anticipation, nah, I'd just take Ray Lewis.
I'll just hope he hits me with a changeup then at 90 instead of 100.
That would still hurt, but
You don't want to get hit by Ray Lewis.
Ray
You don't
Lewis
wanna get hit
killed
by a
it. Ray
fastball.
Lewis
Yeah, I
killed
do.
a guy. And you want him to hit
Allegedly.
you?
He's on Fox Sports now.
Some people will say he was only there when it happened. I'm not buying it.
Wait, what? There was another thing like that. Remember that we saw? It was like a TikTok. It was, who would you rather have? Steph Curry shoot 100 threes,
Steph Curry 100 straight threes,
No, 100 straight free throws.
free throws.
free throws. Okay, 100 straight free throws. Justin Verlander 100 straight strikes, and
Justin Tucker to kick 40 straight 40-yard field
100
goals.
straight field goals
100
from
straight
40
field goals
yards.
from 40 yards.
yeah,
And
There was a lot
There
of
was
disparity
no
on this.
there was no fatigue and throughout the entire
Wait, so
process
you have
for
to
all of them.
you have to pick someone
Yeah.
to do this?
which
Yeah.
one do you think would be most likely to happen? And yeah, so if Justin Tucker's kicking 100 field goals, they said that fatigue was not figured into it. So
or either of them?
hypothetically
Any of
speaking, Steph had all the energy in the world to shoot 100 straight free throws, and Justin Tucker could kick as many without getting tired.
And
Basically, it's a mechanical thing, like who is the best at what they do.
I think Justin Tucker from 40 yards is automatic. And it's set off a tee.
Off a
For the-
tee for
yeah.
him, which he could
No game time,
most
just off a
likely
tee.
make 100 straight.
That's the one I'm going with. Although I know there's been arguments for both of the other two.
I think that's a really tough question. I feel like the pitcher,
That's what I said that I think
because
that
if
Justin
he
Verlander.
if he knows that like he's just going to be out there pitching, like he can just
throw it directly down the plate 100 times in a row.
He doesn't even have to throw it hard if he knows what he's doing.
That's what someone said, but you would. It's a lot harder to throw a strike when you take velocity off.
Right. He wouldn't even take it off. He would throw a fastball.
But that's the thing.
92.
Then when you say he's not getting tired,
Mm-hmm.
he can just keep gunning him down.
Exactly.
Right down the plate.
So I was stuck between Steph and him.
But then the other thing is
I think
that
it's hard to throw 100 straight strikes, even if you don't get tired.
Steph Curry made 100 straight three-pointers. Like, that actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
So
I remember seeing that video on Instagram.
I'm pretty sure he would be able to do 100 free throws. I think he could do it.
But if you started
I'm
a
taking
timer,
Steph.
if you started a timer for all three of them, who would be able to do it first?
Well, Steph would be able to do
Or
it too.
maybe not a timer because a field goal will probably take
Yeah,
longer to
he'd
set
have
up
to
or
set
whatever
it
the
up.
case
Steph
is.
could just go like this.
But like attempts, like they each go through their first streak, and whenever that, like the first person to 100, who do you think it would be?
So I'm going to say if Justin Verlander had that proposition and had to throw 100 straight strikes without getting tired, he would throw 96 strikes. And I think that Justin Tucker, I can't even say that. I really think that Justin Verlander could do that.
I think the margin of error for throwing a strike is harder than people think it is.
I think, you know what? I think I'd take Steph.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't. I think Rocco, your Justin Tucker answer is just one of them. You want to be like really different from everybody else.
No, there's some reason to
Because
that.
kicking a
It's
field
off
goal
a
is
tee,
like
dude.
I don't know.
No,
it's
his
still,
career.
No, but
he
there's
makes
no
like
pressure. Think
92%.
Think he makes 92% with the pressure of people coming to block it
Like
in game
grown
time
ass men
situations.
coming to block it,
And they throw him out there for 50-yard field goals all the time. I mean,
and
And
somebody has to
then
catch it,
God-
set it up perfectly.
God forbid they ice him, and he's still kicking 92%.
So he can.
I'm taking Steph.
I'll take Steph too.
I'm still just gonna stick with Verlander.
I'm JT.
You just said Steph made 100 3-pointers.
Yeah, but I still. Yeah, but it's different. Free throws.
They're easier.
What's so funny? Yeah, they might be, but I'm
he's
still
90
rocking with JT.
He's
All
like
the
90% in
JV.
game time free throws.
Isn't
It's
it?
crazy.
Like no mulligans,
He's a good
nothing. He's
shooter.
just straight 90%.
Chris really thought he was helping his case, but you actually just made your case even worse.
No, I was just pointing out the fact that I do believe Steph could do that, but at the same time, I think if they were actually put into that situation, I think Verlander would throw more strikes than Steph Curry makes.
We got to
free
call up
throws.
Sports Science. You guys remember Sports Science on Sports Center?
That was one of my
That was
favorite
great.
things ever.
Dude, I remember.
I'm a math guy.
I know there was just a big MMA fight over the weekend. They had Quentin Rampage Jackson on there, and they said his right hook was the equivalent of a grizzly bear running at you full force.
What?
Yeah.
Is that stronger than Mike Tyson's?
I don't know if they ever did sports. It's probably not, because Mike Tyson is like one of the scariest punchers there ever was. He probably is the scariest puncher ever. He probably has a stronger hook than Rampage Jackson, but
You know how like there's probably no amount of money that you could pay me to get in a ring with Mike Tyson. Even if it was like a fair fight, like just me versus him, I don't think I would be able to do that.
You think I could survive 30 seconds?
With
no.
Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
30 seconds.
like with no training.
No, like you just throw me in there right
No.
now.
No. You
The
couldn't
only-
last 5 seconds.
So the only thing with that is like
No,
I'd stick and
I'll
move.
give him
you
5 seconds.
you would have to either run around him the whole time, which he would catch you probably, or just like hug him and waste as much time as possible. But if you even got near him,
If you
he
even
would
got,
probably just pop your head straight off.
if
your
you even
neck.
got close enough to clinch him up, you would already be down. You'd already be done.
Because that
for.
means that you would have to go at him basically with your arms out, leaving your face exposed. He's gonna hit you with an uppercut. You're done.
I'm just, there's nothing I love more for like one of these dramatic situations.
I
to happen.
personally don't think any of us can last 30 seconds with any professional boxer.
I agree with
I
that.
don't even think any of us could last 30 seconds with Ronda Rousey.
No.
Oh my, no way.
Oh,
She's
yeah,
like a top tier
I could.
MMA fighter.
Yeah. Like,
Dude,
Any
See, the
professional
octagon,
fighter.
though, you could kind of run in a circle. She would have to catch me.
you want to know the trick?
30 seconds.
What's the trick,
no,
Rocco?
30 seconds is a long time.
That would be the longest 30 seconds.
When
of
that
your
cage
life.
closes and they say 30 seconds, you
Oh
don't
my God.
know.
Dude, the trick is to be aggressive.
Oh, you're gonna beat Mike Tyson now. Is that
Well, no, I'm not going to beat him, but I'm going to be aggressive.
you're gonna fight him?
I'm going to give him a little love tap. Just like, run away.
You wouldn't even get the chance.
I don't think you know what you're talking about. I think any of us would.
Well, all right, maybe not for Tyson, but for Rousey, I would like give her like a punch in the face and then try to avoid the takedown and then
You
last
get
30
in the
seconds.
ring with you get in the cage with Ronda Rousey and you try to punch her in the face. She's gonna catch your arm and break it.
Why can't I have faith in myself and maybe the way I defend myself?
Yeah, you can definitely have faith in yourself, but you should also be realistic.
It's very blind faith in a certain scenario.
I just want to
Well-
be, because this is something that will never happen. You'll never take
You
an
never know.
average person and put them to a superstar level of fighting or a sport or anything just to see how far off the level is. I would love just 30 seconds in the ring with Mike Tyson.
You said you would love that. Think about that. Hold on for a second.
I love it, dude. I would love to prove to the world for 30 seconds I can last against
this
one of the
guy
best
crazy?
boxers of all time. For 30 seconds. Pay-per-view.
You are a maniac.
No,
I'll-
I understand what he would love it because I got to do it. It's like, oh, I went skydiving
I
once.
think you're going to be in the hospital.
All right. Not me
you might
specifically.
end up in a coma.
But even if like any regular person fought Mike Tyson for 30 seconds, just so that way, like,
So, hypothetically speaking, say you took the most athletic person, the most in shape person that has never boxed before.
let's take Vic.
See, Vic would just get hurt like the rest of us.
Mhm.
It's like you said, it'll never happen, but it's
I-
fun. It's a theoretical thing that's fun to talk about.
It is.
Who knows? Triller just lets anybody get in that ring.
Yeah, they
Maybe,
also
maybe
run
one day.
They have a very interesting program when they have fights on. Did you guys get to catch any of it?
I
watch.
I don't support that whole Jake Paul, Logan Paul. They're boxers now. I don't like that they're doing that whole spiel. But I really do like their commentating team. They had
Yeah,
Snoop Dogg on.
Dogg,
I remember
Ice
I
Cube,
watched
and-
like the fight before the Jake Paul fight, and Snoop Dogg and Pete Davidson and Mario Lopez were just like sharing a blunt, and they were literally yelling like kill that mother effer, this and that.
Yeah.
And it was pretty funny. I'd love to watch like Snoop Dogg, Mario Lopez, and Pete Davidson commentate like a Floyd Mayweather fight. Like that would be pretty funny.
Mhm. You know what's funny is I thought that Pete Davidson, he was cracking me up when I was watching that. So then I was on Netflix a couple days later, and he has a comedy special out, and it was hysterical. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. Probably not, right?
No.
I've never even
He has
I
a
heard
movie,
of Pete
too.
Davidson, but I never watched a single thing of his.
His movie was good. It was like
was
loosely
good?
based on his life. Yeah, I would watch it. I think what is it, King of Staten Island?
King of Brooklyn or Staten Island. Yeah.
Oh, it's based on him.
Yeah, it's like
He plays himself,
it's like almost a biopic.
right?
Like some people say that biopic. My brother says biopic. It's definitely biopic, I think.
I didn't know that was a word.
Biopic.
I mean,
How's
you
that?
take everything he says with a grain of salt, though.
He was really upset with me. I remember he came home from the gym that Monday. He was done listening to it. He said, "What's up, dude? You just gonna take everything I say with a grain of salt?" Sorry, John. Sorry.
Was it with that
but-
kind of tone?
Yeah, he wasn't happy.
But I will say that dude is really funny. If there's anybody out there that would find humor in that, it's because he's very cynical. I think people that are like a dry sense of humor and cynical, that cracks me up.
Like not sensitive.
Like somebody that can crack a joke that's funny and not have any facial expression, and
Yeah.
it's just like, and yeah, it's it's more dark topics sometimes, and
That's what I love.
some people can pull it off.
That's what I love about stand up or just comedy in general. Like you have to find the guy you like. Like a
Mhm.
lot of people don't like Pete Davidson, but just as many people probably do because some people like satire, some people don't.
Right, some people would never find that.
some people like that
entertaining.
dark comedy or whatever the case.
Well, comedy's hard because, if you can find a way to be like really funny and not be that explicit, your market's open to everyone. But that's why like a lot of these comedians, like, they're just, subject to a certain people who will gather a following because of the type of topics that they have, but they're definitely not going to be welcomed by everybody.
Yeah, because most of the big time comedians, they definitely say things that offend people,
Mm-hmm.
and
It's a
some people don't react
It's a
well,
scary time
obviously.
right now for comedians.
Yeah.
It's a bad, especially with the looming cancel culture that's going on. Anybody can on any given day just be canceled. It's a scary time for comedians.
You know what I think is crazy about that is somebody could be doing going on with their daily life, and you could just scroll on one of your social medias one day, and something will happen of somebody famous that they did something that nobody really knew about, and all of a sudden you just never hear them again. That's so crazy to me.
It's
Like,
I can't actually think of a certain thing,
mhm.
or maybe like David Dobrik. He was like Mr. YouTube, right?
he was giving away Teslas every week on
Giving
Twitter.
away Teslas, had the world in his hands with all his internet fame. And I actually don't even know what he did, but all I saw was that nobody likes him anymore. But that was pretty quick. It was within a week. He's done for.
The story's kind of wild.
Do you know the story? You tell
Yeah.
it, Doc.
Now you got it.
So what had happened was he had all these people at his house, and they basically just like coerced this girl into having sex with his friend while they were vlogging it. And
What does that mean? Hold on.
they were like, "Hey, I'm David Dobrik, and these are all my friends, and we have a bunch of money. You guys are girls that came to hang out with us, and now have sex with my friend." And the girl was like, "Nah, I don't really want to do that." And he was like, "All right." And he told his boy, like, "Yo, man, go get a bunch of alcohol. Let's get these girls drunk, and then she's gonna go ahead and sleep with our friend or whatever."
And
And it was
excuse
all,
me,
it was all like,
on video.
yeah, that's what happened, right? Doc? That's
What?
like the gist of it.
Yeah, he was the whole time. He didn't record it, but they were vlogging everything. Like
Now, that's
the
what
whole
I meant to ask. What does that
situation.
mean? Vlogging it, just
Like are you vloggers have their YouTube channels and they're
Yeah,
vlogging their
so
day
they
or
kind
their
of just
night.
have cameras everywhere,
Yeah,
right?
or
And
like they just if you wear a GoPro all day, everything's documented.
Yeah,
then
it's
you
all
cut
doc-
out what you want to be in,
and you
what,
make a video. out
and
of
this
it, right?
was cut out somewhere, but someone still had the file, and it came out to the public, and everyone was like, "Yo, David Dobrik
As
is
it
like a
should.
sex offender."
right.
So, and
Yeah,
everyone,
he's had like multiple cases too.
Well,
and
that's
everyone-
good that he got
everyone
canceled
was
then,
really
but
mad at him because it came out, and then he was like, "Yeah, it happened. So what?" And
Yeah,
then
his
all
apologies
and then
sucked.
all of his YouTube sponsors and whoever else sponsors
I
dropped him.
saw that.
And then he
yes.
made like a video of him crying, saying sorry. So like, are you really sorry? You were only
Once he
sorry
lost
when they
all
took
his
your
money, right?
Yeah,
So that just goes to show that someone in his position used his. You're a powerful person at that point. If you have all
yes.
this money and all this, this following, he used his power to coerce people into doing something they didn't want to do.
I
and-
saw the original video. I think you have to look it up on like Reddit or Twitter now. It's probably scrubbed
Yeah,
from
I
the
don't
internet.
even want to see that. That's
But it
just not
is-
right.
It is scary. Like he's just someone, like you said, like he's a powerful person, and he said, "Yo, have sex with my friend." She said no, and all on video. He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna get her to do it. Don't worry, we're gonna get her."
Yeah, see, I didn't know exactly what happened, but obviously it's justified now that he got canceled. But I just remember seeing, like, he's done for. I saw he lost 20 sponsorships that he had. And, well, that was well-deserved, though, so.
Yeah, the only reason I was saying it's scary, I do agree that people who do things that are like that, or, you get caught being a racist or whatever the case, I'd sure go ahead and get canceled. I'm saying comedians in specifically.
Because they say they're like
Because they don't
they're
really
just trying to
mean-
do their job.
Yeah, they don't mean what they're saying, or there's no real malice behind it. It's just comedy
Mhm.
after all. But people, like Rocco said, they can be rubbed the wrong way. Anyone can be rubbed the wrong way, but that's where you have to find your niche in comedy.
Right.
And so-
But then you got to think if there's a certain point at which enough people are offended by it, probably should have never said it, right? So-
I'm surprised South Park has made it this far. South Park is still going strong, man, and they don't care what they say on
They
there.
definitely test the boundaries of
My,
what they can and can't say.
My cousin actually, huge television fan, loves The Simpsons, loves South Park, Family Guy, all those types of shows. And he'll even say The Simpsons, they're still running, it's not the same as before. Family Guy, not the same as before. He said South Park, they just still test the boundaries every week.
They do. Have you guys ever watched The Simpsons?
Yes,
'Cause
I used to
can't
love The
say that I
Simpsons
have.
in the late 2000s.
few
Yeah.
episodes.
There's
couple
people
dozens.
out there that consider The Simpsons the best show to ever exist. There's a lot of people that think that way, which is kind of crazy.
I mean, to have the ratings that they've had for so long, it's arguable.
Probably,
It's-
right?
It's a lot of older crowds.
What do you
Like
guys?
I remember my dad when I was young would just have The Simpsons, and there's another show that the older people love with
A cartoon?
Kramer and what's that show called?
Seinfeld?
Seinfeld and Simpsons were like the top two shows my dad would have on every
My mom
night.
and your father are probably the same age. My mom loves The Simpsons as well.
Yeah.
And it probably was it like one of the first cartoons to come about? Probably. I don't know for sure.
I mean, my
but
mom was born in
cartoons, no,
but probably adult
but
cartoons.
adult like that kind of like cartoon maybe. Yeah.
Right. Which is funny because you think of cartoons, you think of like little kids shows, right? But then there's this one that adults love. I maybe I'll start watching it. I don't know. How do I watch
What
it?
do you guys think is the best free TV show out there? Like, I don't want to talk about like Breaking Bad, you have to pay for that channel, or Game of Thrones, you got to pay for that. Like, what is the best free TV show?
That's a very interesting.
That's on right now, or that has been
No,
on. As like
that was
free...
on TV. I mean, I know you guys are big Walking Dead fans. That was free. That's free.
Well, I mean, Breaking Bad was free too, but
What's Breaking Bad on? I thought that
AMC.
was.
AMC. Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I was thinking of what's the one?
Game
on,
of Thrones is HBO.
No, the other one on Stars. I can't even think of it.
Entourage.
No, that was on HBO as well.
That is an HBO.
What was funny about that? It was just a guess.
So Breaking
Oh.
Bad. Is that how you guys gonna?
I mean,
roll with?
Nah.
Breaking Bad might be the best show ever,
I don't know, man. I mean,
but
there's
it's also very, very, very hard.
there's so many
put
attributes
one.
to this question. I mean, or attributes,
I'm
variables.
just trying to think of what classifies.
Whose line is it anyway?
That's a great.
Yeah.
That's an underrated show of all time.
That
I
show
love that show. They
was
still
fantastic.
like air like with new.
They
No, it's
still
like a
do.
lot of the same,
It's a lot of the same cast too.
but it's a different host.
Mm-hmm.
What was your guys' favorite cartoons like growing up? Well, wait, didn't we say this? We answered this. I'm a
No,
Chalk
we-
Zone
we-
guy.
No, we
No.
did
That was a
cartoon
cartoon.
If you could be,
character.
if you could be a
When
character,
we were
right?
doing like Zoom, we talked a little bit about it, about like your favorite whatever. But if I was gonna pick a cartoon, I really like the
Fairly
I
Odd.
know.
Oh, I love
it's
the Fairly Odd
between
Parents.
the Fairly Odd Parents
and Chalk Zone.
and Jim.
probably.
No, I was never a big Chalk Zone guy. I didn't
Oh,
even know
you
it.
missed out.
What was the guy? Snap? I don't know.
Snap,
He's
he
not
could
my
draw
guy.
up
I'll
anything
take
you
Jimmy
wanted.
Neutron over him. But
Jimmy
I also
Neutron
really liked
was
Phineas
good.
and Ferb, man.
Ooh,
I wasn't big into Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas and
neither.
Ferb were clutch.
Dude, cartoon.
that's a good one. They were Cartoon Network, right?
Disney Channel.
No, that
Disney
was-
Channel.
I didn't like a lot of Cartoon Network's
Yeah.
cartoons.
What was on Cartoon Network? I liked.
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah, I watched.
What was the
that.
one with the house and all the weird characters? What, why can't I think of
the,
it? Imaginary House, something.
Oh, Foster's Care.
Yes.
Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
That
or
show used
whatever.
to freak me out when I was a kid.
What's the one with the kids and they're agents and they live in like this giant tree house? Oh, dude, I can't even think of it.
I was gonna
I'll have
say
to
something
search it up.
stupid, but
Doc looks like a Ben 10 kind of guy. Doc reminds me of someone who would like Ben 10.
Nah,
even know what that
my
is.
favorite cartoon was probably, I think Jimmy Neutron.
Jimmy Neutron was good.
But then, like, I think about it, and I was like, I watched so much SpongeBob, and like, SpongeBob was like an awesome cartoon.
yeah, SpongeBob.
But that's like the given.
was
I don't
good.
know.
Oh,
But I did enjoy the Fairly Odd Parents. as well.
Codename The Kids Next Door.
Oh,
I like that show on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, they just all called each other numbers.
Yeah.
Were you
SpongeBob
guys
was
big
good.
Disney Channel movie people? Like, did you watch
No.
all the Disney Channel movies?
I did. I was a
Yeah, me
Sweet Life
too.
of Zach and Cody was a
Oh, dude.
phenomenal show.
I know all. I
That's a
know
good
all the
one.
shows though, because everyone talks about them, but I never watched them.
Nickelodeon. I was a big Nickelodeon guy. I used to fall asleep to George Lopez every night.
Me too.
You guys remember George Lopez show? I used to love that
George
show.
Lopez is actually another underrated show.
Yeah.
Dude, cartoons. I mean, I kind of split this into two answers. Family Guy will always be like my adult cartoon, even though I don't watch it that much anymore. I just never had more genuine belly laughs in my life than just Peter Griffin just doing something stupid. And dude, a show when I was a child. I mean, SpongeBob's just the easy answer, but I mean, there's so many as a kid. Like you said, the ferret, and you can separate into so many different answers too. I mean, a lot of people like to separate in what channel. It's either Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, Disney Channel, and like maybe one other that I'm missing.
There's so many. There's so many that we used to love that we don't remember, which is
Mhm.
kind of sad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dude, speaking of cartoons, I was just telling my brother and all his friends, like, this new anime movie's coming out. Like, anime is so cool right now. It's crazy.
You're watching one?
I am watching one, but like I was just telling them today, like 7-10 years ago, if you told someone you watch anime, they'd be like, "Yo, man, you're a weirdo loser." Now it's like, "Oh, you don't watch anime? You're a weirdo, dude." Like anime is like so big right now.
Dude, anime.
Is it just like cartoons, basically?
Yeah, I guess in a way, but like they're not
It's
like
different.
they're not like kid shows though. Like, and it's not like an Adult Swim show. Well, I guess they started on Adult Swim to get popular, but like it's not like Family Guy or anything. Like they're not comedy, but they're like
So it would just be like a normal show with like a live
Animation,
people,
yeah.
but then they just animate
they're
it.
animated. Yeah.
Is it all based off something, a book?
No,
or
it's
that
like
kind
some
of shit?
guy. It's just storytelling.
Hmm.
Just storytelling. The one I'm watching right now is I'm watching Hunter x Hunter, and I like it a lot. But it's crazy how big anime has gotten.
No, I know that for sure.
It's pretty ridiculous.
I know. I know. I know that with anime, it's been around for a long time, and I mean, there's like some light anime shows like a Samurai Jack sort of thing, and then you have the originator with like Pokemon, and that was like a huge anime show that people. I mean, anime's always been a thing, no matter how much it hasn't been talked about.
Yeah, so like all those shows are like anime. Well, technically, anime is mostly just like Japanese anything. Because if you just think about like an animated movie, that's like anime, but it's not really because it's not Japanese. But what are you searching up here?
What are you typing?
Nah, so I just had a funny thing that I thought about. I just remember. So you remember how you just said anime? A lot of people used to watch it, but it never blew up, right?
Yeah, or like it was almost like you were shamed for watching anime
Right.
before.
That I don't know why, but it made me think about like the dawn of the internet, which was what, like the 80s, I guess. Early 80s is when computers started
I
to
have
come
no
about.
idea.
Probably even before, but when people started to adapt to it, and there was so many people that thought this is irrelevant, this is never going to mean anything. So I wanted to look up like what are some of the worst hot takes of all time. Like there was probably somebody that went up on a live television show and said, "You will never need a computer in your house in your life, like it's a scam or whatever." You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's what I was looking up.
Dude, your mind is like 100 miles a minute, brother.
I can't.
You
help
just
it
started off
sometimes.
with I was talking about anime not being cool, and now you're like I'm thinking about the dawn of the internet, and now I'm thinking about like, do you even need a computer in your crate, dude?
Yeah, maybe you
What
don't
just
need that
happened?
computer next to you.
What? Maybe if I find something funny, I'll share. But I think that's crazy though, because we kind of grew up as the computers and stuff was already very well developed, but not.
AOL Instant Messaging.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of developing, our boy Doc over here is developing wins in the last 2 weeks with the locks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that I am.
Doc's got 2 straight. We're getting the ball rolling here.
I'm crawling back.
3
I'll-
and 5.
I'm getting there. Don't worry. I'll be 500 by the next 2 weeks. Yeah, I'll be 500. I'm hot right now.
Wait. So what's
We
your
hit an-
record?
I'm 3 and 5.
He's 3 and 5. He actually
It's not a good record, but I'm crawling back.
and for everyone listening, we actually have our own group message, and Doc just sent us a 5-team parlay.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Chris took part in it, and it was like plus. Well, I don't know.
It was nice. It was a good one. Also,
Yeah,
wanted to
it's
give
good.
Doc a shout out. Got his first win as a JV Highland coach. Give me some.
Thank you.
Congrats on
Thank
that.
you.
That's huge. Come from behind.
Yeah, a little
Top
come from
7.
behind victory for my Highland JV team. Shout out to them.
That's just a huge win.
It was cool. It was awesome. It was like a cool experience. My first
Yeah,
one.
that's-
I was excited.
That's awesome.
Did you celebrate with him? Did you jump on the pile?
Wait,
No.
it was a walk off.
Nah, it wasn't a walk off.
No,
it was
you-
just
yeah.
we were
Top.
the away team. Yeah,
Yeah.
but we scored 3 in the 7th to
And-
take the lead, and we shut them down in the bottom half.
Mm-hmm.
You did
Exciting
treat
stuff.
yourself to some Taco Bell after
Yeah, I
the win.
treated myself to some Taco Bell. I guess FaceTime
deserve
Earl.
that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was feeling good.
How was it? The Taco Bell.
It was good, very good.
Good.
The Gordita Crunch.
Nah, what did I?
Why do they keep bringing the fries back
I don't
and taking
understand
them
it.
away?
Just keep them
They
there.
just keep the fries.
You know,
They're
I was
so
a little
good.
upset when I pulled up, and I was like, I was really wanted some Taco Bell fries, and they didn't have it. They have a new thing. I don't know. I get a pretty basic order there because I don't have a very diverse palate. But
Mhm.
what did I get? I got the Dorito Loco Taco Supreme, and then I got the 5-layer beef burrito, whatever it is, which was
you know
good.
what I hate about Taco Bell? Every time I go there, I buy way too much food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll get like the $5 box and then
And
like
something-
another
yeah.
dollar menu
No,
item.
I know exactly what you mean because the last time I went to Taco Bell, I just was ordering stuff. I don't actually know what I get when I don't have a set order.
Like if you were to if you asked me like, "Oh, Earl, I'm going to Taco Bell. What do you want?" I'd be like, "Dude, I have no clue."
Just surprise me.
Yeah.
I said, give me the tacos and then whatever this is, and then it was like $20. I was like,
And then you get
This
home
is
and you're
too
halfway
much.
done, and you're like, "Wait a second, I can't even eat all this."
I didn't even know what I ordered,
in general when I go out to eat,
Yeah.
or if I get fast food or something.
especially fast food.
Yeah.
That happens. I don't even know, but I don't do that anymore. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
None of that fast food
Wait,
stuff.
Doc. So you were kind of teasing. I know you were telling us before we started. You were teasing maybe you give a little live lock today. Did you see anything you liked? Or
A live lock? Yeah.
I know we've been switching the format up. I actually don't.
I
I
know.
don't know if I want to do that because we've been winning.
Well,
We've
no,
been-
but if he likes it,
It's
he
funny.
likes it.
A line literally just changed as I opened the app.
You gonna do it?
Nah.
I don't want to put you
nah.
on the spot. Yeah, our method's been working right now for Doc. We'll keep releasing it on Instagram.
For
Yeah.
anyone that
I like
is
the
listening.
whole, whoever does that. I think it's one of our social media guys.
One of the social
Rocco.
media guys is doing it.
I'll get on him.
Yeah.
I'll make sure.
but I
I'll
like
make
the
sure he
whole-
talks to you.
I don't know how you would the display of it. It's
Oh, you like the
creative.
layout of
yeah,
the-
the layout of it. It's creative. It's cool.
You're.
It really grabs your attention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that guy's fat.
What?
Why are you holding the mic like that?
I want.
We should all do that from now on.
No, don't do it right now. It's gonna make
Okay.
a really
yeah,
loud noise.
and I was able to control the
Contain
mute button.
yourself.
I got excited, Chris. I'm sorry.
Had a karaoke night
Right.
before we leave. Had a karaoke night tonight.
What?
Had a karaoke night.
You had one, so you participated in karaoke.
That was over at the girlfriend's family's house.
Oh, I thought you were saying you're about to sing karaoke right now.
yeah, that's kind of
No.
what
I was
thought,
like, wait,
too.
no, don't do that.
Had some good karaoke music going on. Wanted to sing Barbie Girl. They cut me off.
Yeah, it was probably for the better.
Probably for the better baby. Earl, you got anything to say before we head out?
What do I have to say? I want to tell everyone this is going to be the best week ever. It's going to be the best week ever.
Can I say something?
What, Doc?
Remember, I told you I read this book.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to talk about it real quick. I think you would all, especially Earl, because Earl's like,
Sexy.
he's the guy. Yeah. But anyway, the books. I had an assignment I had to do for my exercise physiology class. Don't know why. It was like an alternative assignment. But I had to read a book called The 4 Agreements. And it changes your whole outlook on life. And it was really good, and I recommend reading it. So basically, these 4 agreements. The first agreement is to be impeccable with your word, which is basically like everyone has a voice, and your words and your voice can affect people's lives, your own life, everybody. It's probably the most powerful thing that humans have. The second agreement is to never take things personally. The third agreement is to never make assumptions. And the fourth agreement is to always do your best. And if you incorporate these 4 agreements into your life every day, you will then learn to love your life more, enjoy life, and you'll get the most fullest life ever. It was very interesting.
There
you should
it
read
is.
it, Chris.
And there
That
it
was
is.
pretty good.
So
Doc's
incorporate the 4 agreements in your life starting tomorrow, Monday.
It's like
What-
the
what's
4
the date?
most important P's in life:
Principal.
pace and purpose. And that was only 2, but yeah, that sounds like a good. Sounds like a good book, Doc. What was it called again?
The 4 agreements.
4 agreements.
It's a Toltec wisdom book.
There were only 3 P's mentioned. Was
2 P's,
principal even
actually.
one of
You
them?
said the 4 most important P's, and you mentioned 2: pace and purpose.
So along with what Doc was saying, what are you laughing at?
I don't even know.
So along with what Doc was saying, Doc learned something new this week. He read this book. He learned how to be impeccable. Amongst other things, I forget them all already. But I want to challenge. I want to challenge everyone listening to learn something new this week, and it could be anything you want to learn every day. Let's learn something new this week. Let's get after it on Monday. Let's do whatever we got to do. It's going to be the best week ever for all of us.
Love it. We will catch you guys next week on Monday. But first, let's focus on this Monday. Let's win Monday. I love Doc. Bye.
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 Bye.